college brings together two things we care about the most, our money and our kids. And the whole process of planning for college can be very complicated and overwhelming. In fact, most families tell me it's actually quite mysterious. Introducing Bonnie Kleffman, our associate consultant. She has a master's in education and English. She's a certified global career development facilitator, and she's also an incredible mountain bike racer. Bonnie Kleffman. So I'm so excited about introducing you to everybody. I'm really, excited to have you on our team. And I wanted to give folks an opportunity to get a chance to meet you. You've got a master's in education and English, and you're a certified global career development facilitator.
I am.
That's impressive. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is and a little bit about your background?
Sure. Well, I went to University of Dayton for my undergraduate up in Ohio, where I'm from. And then I migrated to South Carolina, where I lived in Spartanburg for a little bit and got my master's in ed at Converse College. And it was really great because I lived in the neighborhood across the street and could walk to college. I loved it. So my global career development facilitator certification, that came when through my work at Nation Ford High School. It's part of the certification to be a career specialist, which I am. And I had to go through some coursework, and the training actually is for students of all ages. So from middle and late elementary school all the way through adults. So with that training, I learned how to help students of all ages figure out what it is they want to be when they grow up, how to guide them with the appropriate questions, and just be the most helpful person to any client that comes my way.
That's awesome. So you really work with all high school students and you work with them on career discovery and reflection. Any tips or advice for families out there that might have someone that just really have no clue what they want to do in college? Any kind of advice for them?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, the intensity of the discussions and the preparation generally will have to do with how old the student is, but it's never too late to start exploring. One of my main goals in my job and any work that I do, in addition to teaching, is to help a student figure out what is their best path. Not necessarily to get them to college without a direction, but to get them to a career choice and then choose the college that is the very best match for them based on so many factors, academics, major choice, career opportunities within that major and in that career when they graduate. What are the jobs going to be like? Also financial considerations, or what kind of education they might need. 2-year, 4-year, master's, what degree would they need? So yeah, that's
Cool. And you actually taught English for a little while too, right?
Sure did. I sure did at South Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So what grade was it what was it, like English 1 or 2? I mean, what grade was it?
It was wonderful. It was English 1 and freshman focus. And I also got to teach the AVID class, which kind of goes along with the career development piece. So AVID was a program that went along with the English curriculum, which was a year-long curriculum. And it helped first-generation college students or students who are on the border between maybe going to college and maybe not, to help them explore their options. We used a lot of Socratic seminars. We would do college visits to expose the students to different places. I'll never forget going to Boone, North Carolina from Charlotte on a school bus. That was a very long trip, but it was really good for those students. And I found that they were some of my best. So again, the same career exploration I gave to them, I would give to students now of all ages, is explore the world around you and try to get as many experiences now as you can. So for example, a student may come into my office and I'll ask them some probing questions just to get to know them. I say, well, what do you do in your spare time? What do you like to do? What are your favorite hobbies? Do you like to be around groups or maybe work alone? And they're just kind of like, I don't know, I never thought about it. So sometimes for the younger students, simply thinking about what environment you like, what makes you happy, what you find joy or flow in doing. Those things are very, very important for a student to begin exploring. How can we translate that? Your favorite subject in school, maybe, to a career that will make you happy for a lifetime.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I mean, that's such an important conversation to have because so many folks that, we work with, they want to, they pick sexy majors, but then they haven't really thought about what is going to be related to that major. What is the work? What is the education? What is the amount of rigor that's going to be required to be successful in that major? So it's clear that you love working with high school
I
students.
do.
Do you have like a favorite story or is there a moment? I mean, what is it about working with high school students that you absolutely love?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've worked with all ages. I've had lots of other experiences in my career, nonprofit management, nonprofit work, fitness instructing, all the things I've done, right? Which makes me an interesting candidate for the job. So I have so many favorites, but one I was thinking about just this morning was a young man who came into my office last year, maybe around Christmas. So he's graduated already. He was a senior, and he really had an aspiration to go into the medical field. He was also very artsy, which is an unusual combination that I have found is very strong in math and science, and also very strong in the arts. And he was a tuba player in the band and was very, very good at tuba. So in talking with him a lot, one of his huge concerns was having the financial means to attend the college that he wanted to. So I was thinking, I'd seen some presentations. And so I asked him, how do you feel about the National Guard? And he said, I don't really know a whole lot about it. I briefly explained the program where you serve 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year in exchange for educational benefits. So we called the recruiter right from my office, right there. We put him on speaker and we set up his audition. He auditioned for tuba, and his position, his job is to play in the band for the National Guard. His 2 weeks a year are probably going to be around the 4th of July. He was very happy to serve in some capacity and also get his education taken care of. And it also utilized two skills that he loved. His musical side, which he'll be able to continue for years and years, and also his academic side.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love how you
I
like
love
just
it.
you just picked up the phone, gave the recruiter a phone call, and it sounds like he's on a really cool career path.
He is.
Yep. So you are going to be working with lots of really awesome scholars in the near future, and you're going to have such a large impact in the lives of so many families. Tell me, what is it that made you decide that you wanted to be an associate consultant with us?
Wow. Well, several reasons actually. The first one is that I put on an event every year, and I met Dale Price through one of these events where I just straight up, I forgot if I emailed you or called you, and I said, hey, would you like to put on a presentation? And you didn't hem or haw. You said, absolutely, I will. I just want to help. And you were there in person. You were very friendly, and I loved the after I did a little bit more research, the website, the message, all of the things that you guys do really impressed me, especially since I've worked with many different college consultants and many different college representatives and different folks from the business industry, et cetera. So that's one of my reasons. So my other one is that it took me a while to figure out what it was that was my own passion. I found myself at 21, young 21, graduating from University of Dayton with a BA in English and minors in communications and philosophy. And then I was like, well, what do I do now? My parents, although they gave me the best advice that they could, they were of a generation where it was like, okay, a broad liberal education, the ability to communicate and think, you're going to be fine. Well, that was wonderful in their generation. In mine, a little bit less so, though I wouldn't change a thing. But nowadays, unfortunately, students have to be much more focused than they have been in past years. And that's sometimes a difficult thing for parents to understand or students to understand too. So my passion comes from helping folks maybe do a little bit better than I did in the focus category. And learn to adjust to the new norm in college admissions and career choice. We have to start sooner. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you knew this or not, but I actually flew back for that speaking engagement that you had me do.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I was actually living in Austin at the time and I didn't want to cancel. And I thought it was such a really cool opportunity. I mean, I love Nation Ford High School, really, really awesome families over there. And I was like, I'm not going to back out of this. This is going to be such a fun opportunity. And it was actually during the hurricane. I think it was, what was the hurricane? Yeah.
It was the last one was 2 years ago, simply because this year we had to do an online series because we couldn't gather due to COVID. But yeah, there was a hurricane, and actually one of my folks from Colombia, I had somebody coming from higher education in Colombia to come and talk about South Carolina specific scholarship opportunities, and he had to back out because the roads were too bad. So.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that. So, okay. So I'm obsessed. You love fitness. You're a you love to do mountain biking. You are a fitness instructor. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about the mountain biking that you do. And I just think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Okay, well, I'm, as you can probably tell, kind of a type A individual, and I made a commitment that when I had my babies, that I would stay home for a little bit and be there through their preschool years. Well, I had a great time doing that and no regrets, but I think I felt like I really needed, something to do outside the home that was exciting for me. And so, sure enough, I began to mountain bike, which is something I knew just a little bit about, not much. When I lived in Spartanburg and was going to grad school, I had two guy friends who would take me around and be their sidekick. I didn't have clipped in shoes, or, I didn't know anything about it. I had a bike that was probably from Ohio State somewhere. I don't know. But so I started doing that, and they told me, they said, there's a race here every year. You should try it. I was like, are you kidding me? Never. But sure enough, after my daughter was born, I started to race. And after a couple more years, I raced a lot more. I started as a beginner. And when Haley was born, I was all the way up to expert, or Cat 1. And then after my second daughter was born, Victoria, who is now 10, I decided to cat up, as the mountain bikers call it, or cyclists, cat up to pro. And I turned pro at age 40. I was a competitive regional pro in the Southeast, but when I went to national competitions, it was very humbling. But I was lining up with, ladies who were half my age and, had gone to the Olympics. So I did not do great in those races, but I had a great fun. So.
That is the coolest thing ever. Well, I think that all of our scholars are going to love working with you. Our families are going to love working with you as well. And I just wanted to thank you for this opportunity to have a chance to introduce you out there to everyone. And folks, if you're tuning in and watching this segment, feel free to schedule time to connect with Bonnie, learn all about her expertise. She's going to be a wonderful addition to the team. So thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Any closing words, Bonnie, you want to say to everybody?
No, thank you. I'm very, very excited to be hooked up with Access College, and feel free to email me or call me with any questions you have. I really am excited to work with you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.